But yes, thank you for joining us. You all are wonderful JA supporters, and with so many things happening differently these days with junior achievement and the world in general, and lots of exciting things up ahead, we just wanted to take time a couple times a year to have a chance to share with you what's going on, so you can see, what it is that your support is going towards and what kind of exciting things are happening in the organization. So just a quick overview of what we'll cover today. So we're going to have some updates on our big campaign for the JA Free Enterprise Center. Some of you may know a lot about that. Some of you may know very little about that. So it'll be nice to get an update on what's going on there. We're going to share some feedback we've been receiving from educators regarding that project and just in general with JA programs. And then we'll have an update on what's happening with programs this school year, particularly this fall, and then some opportunities and challenges that we're facing right now, and then time for questions. So throughout the call, please feel free to type any questions you have in the chat. And then at the end, we'll have a designated time to ask questions where you can either chat or turn on your mic and ask out loud. So I think it looks like most people are muted anyways, but if you do want to just keep yourselves muted during the main part of the presentation so we don't hear any, dogs barking or fun other background noises. So with that, I will turn it over to our President and CEO, Robin Wise, to share with us about the Free Enterprise Center.
Good morning, everybody, and thanks for joining. It's fun to see so many familiar names on the call or the Zoom, whatever we're calling this. But yeah, I'm sure that a lot of you have heard the news that we've sold the floor where we live and we've occupied for 30 years. And in parallel to that, we're planning to build what we're calling the Free Enterprise Center. And I think we have another slide. The next slide for that. Yeah, so here's a rendering. We were lucky enough to get a partial donation of land to build this, but a little bit of the background. As most of you know, we have this wonderful facility, JA Finance Park, which is a Harvard best practice for teaching financial literacy, and it's at capacity. And we've known for many years that we probably would need to build another one. And the time to do that is now, especially with everything going on in the world. The need for another park is even greater. So we set out a few years ago looking for a place. And John Madden was nice enough to make this beautiful space available. And instead of just building another finance park, we're going to take our expertise of experiential learning in financial literacy, and we're also going to transfer that expertise in experiential real-world learning to building another learning center that is focused on career exploration, self-discovery, and we hope young people will be able to discover their path to purpose in the Dream Accelerator. So in this slide, you see go forward. You see the location of what will be the Free Enterprise Center. We're less than a half a mile to light rail. We're surrounded by students, and excitingly, we've got 12,000 students that are free and reduced lunch that are nearby. And this location, obviously we're going to keep the north location. This south location is going to allow students who weren't able to physically get to our first finance park due to bus schedules and traffic. So we think this is just a perfect location for kids from South Denver, South Jeffco, Parker, Castle Rock, and even some of the mountain communities is easier to get to. So really excited about that. And here's a great layout of the new facility. You see the Dream Accelerator, and then on the other side of the building will be our second finance park. It is going to be a little nicer because we'll have the auditorium, and the auditorium will be able to use that. Those are pushback bleachers that you see there. So that'll be some great space for summer camps or the community to rent or utilize. We can have some career fairs, and it's also nicer than sitting on the floor, which is what the kids have to do at our current finance park. And then you'll see the Bull and Bear Cafe. I think we're calling it the Bull and Bear Market. And it won't be like a lunchroom or anything, but it's going to be a place where kids can eat lunch. So we're not going to prepare lunches or food there. But again, a place in the summer, we can have summer camps and a much more comfortable environment for students. And then the second floor is, you'll see the conference center. So that will be a place where companies in the tech center can rent and utilize for meetings, conferences, with a nice space and a terrace. People can spill out and have receptions there. And then the other part of the building is an office area. So we've made this building, it's small, but it works really well. So I think we'll be able to have some earned income from the conference center and the auditorium, and even the Dream Accelerator. I think adults are going to have great fun in that experience. So money, it takes money. The total project cost is 17.4 million. We've raised 13.6 million to date, so that thermometer keeps going up. And we expect to break ground in February or March. So look for the opening of at least the finance park area in the school year of 2023-24. And I think that's about, I'm a minute over my time, but I want to introduce Andrea, who is going to talk a little bit more about the Dream Accelerator, because that is such a new aspect to what we're doing. And I think you'll be excited to see our progress on that.
Thank you, Robin. Nice to see all these faces and some familiar names. I'm getting to learn them all. My name is Andrea Grebe, and I am the Innovation Learning and Design Specialist at Junior Achievement Rocky Mountain. My primary role is to put together the Dream Accelerator. So I have an extremely exciting job, and it's moving along beautifully. So Emily, if you want to go to the next slide. So here's a very brief rendering of what the Dream Accelerator will be like. It's a little floor plan, kind of like we were showing before. So our goal at the Dream Accelerator, like Robin said, is to help students really find their interest, career opportunities, make sure that it matches with their goals in life, those financial goals. We want to really just help them be inspired and find their way. Like Robin said, find that path. So as I go through the Dream Accelerator, there might be a couple questions. So please feel free to put those in the chat, like Emily mentioned. So we've decided that to maximize experience for students, we're going to maximize the space to 40 students a day. That will mean one school a day. And the reason for this is truly timing and busing, and to really help the students not just come for a little bit of time and then send them on their way. We really want to provide them with all the tools that they need to not only discover their inspired dreams of what they could do in their career, but also to give them a pathway to make those a realization. So when they enter, they'll enter into that forum area, the big orange circle. They will be welcomed by a JA Dream Accelerator facilitator. That's a mouthful. At that time, they'll be assigned into smaller groups so that they can travel around the Dream Accelerator in those smaller groups. They'll receive a small tablet to assist them throughout their experience. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. But the really exciting part, when they start in the forum, this area will be the kickoff. So this will be a video. If you can see, the one side has kind of benches, seating for them, and the other side has almost 180-degree screen. And this is going to show them an extremely inspiring Colorado-based video to show them all the multitude of choices that they have after high school, really emphasizing those high demand careers and making it very relatable and engaging for them. So we're excited to get this video into production with our design team and see all the amazing things that the kids are going to see right before they start the Dream Accelerator. So once that video is finished, they will go in their small groups to the other 5 circles that you can see on there. And they'll all start at a different circle. That means, and then after that, they'll move clockwise. So it's, they're going to experience everything, but in a different order than other students, which is fine. And we're planning that to make sure that that works. So the purple one, I'm just going to go through these quickly. I could talk about this for hours. So that's why I said, if you have any questions, please let us know. The Picture Your Strengths purple circle will be where students will assemble a vision board collage using a touch screen monitor. So they'll each have their own. The max in each group would be 8. So you can see there's 8 screens there. I know they're awfully small, but they will pull career, lifestyle images, quotes, descriptive phrases, all things that apply to them and help them understand their strengths and which kind of careers that would align with those strengths and their interests. So at the end, they'll end up with this really neat collage. And like I said before, I would talk about the tablets. So those tablets that they have will help them move through the experience, kind of give them the time, tell them where to go next. And they'll also be an area, there's going to be an app on there that's designed just for JA, Rocky Mountain. And on that app, they're going to be able to collect QR codes, images or information from each of these experiences. And then at the end of the day, they're going to receive a summary with all of the pieces that they put together here at the Dream Accelerator, which is really exciting because this is going to be delivered to them through email and also delivered to them physically. So we're so used to virtual. So they're going to receive a printout of their summary, which we feel very strongly about. We want them to take them home and get excited with their families and share with them with their friends on the buses and just really continue those conversations. And the purpose of this is, like I mentioned before, to help them continue on their path. So JA wants to continue the relationship with the students that come to the Dream Accelerator and help them to connect with either Colorado Business Hall of Famers, events that we have at the Free Enterprise Center, speakers that we bring in, things that really connect with them and their interests. So, oh, sorry, I just saw a chat pull up. I'm going to ignore the chat room or I'll get off topic. So if we move around, they're going to then continue to that Colorado Hall of Fame section. And here they're going to be introduced to role models who helped build our state. They're going to learn inspiring and fun facts about each laureate. And there will be an interactive activity that will drive students to learn more and more about each Hall of Fame inductee that they can connect with, things that they can relate to. And we're really excited about this area because it is going to just highlight all of the people that really helped to make Colorado amazing. I'm moving on because I looked at my time. I'm so sorry. The reality calculator is going to be a touchscreen interactive as well, helping them match salary ranges that they will need for their goals, their lifestyle that they hope to achieve. And then it's going to help them analyze the career interests that match with these realistic salary ranges. So that really is going to be a neat tool and an eye-opening tool. That's why we called it the reality calculator. In entrepreneur mindset, there is going to be a video introduction with a young, engaging entrepreneur here from Colorado. And they're going to kind of walk through a collaborative, a little bit competitive, because being an entrepreneur is competitive, game with another team. So they're going to break their group off into 2 teams, and then they are going to compete against each other. And this will all be done on a touch screen as well. And keep in mind, they're going to be able to keep all of this information in their app and get it at the end, which is a part that we're really excited about. The visualization is exciting. This is not going to be a screen. This is going to be tactile, because we want to make sure that we reach all students and their needs. And at this point, they're going to really think about the impact that they want to make on the world. They're going to visualize what they could do in the future. And it's going to be a flip, like a wall full of tiles that they flip. It's going to be very visual and colorful and engaging, and excited to see what the students come up with. At the end, there's going to be a photo op for students to take either individually or with their peers, which will be really neat as well. At the end of the prescribed time that the app is walking them through, they're going to have a little bit of time to walk through it on their own and go back and visit things that they maybe didn't get enough time at, since they only have 10 minutes per station, or other things that they want to try again and see if they get a different answer. So we're excited about that time as well. The forum, they will then revisit the forum, and that facilitator that's been there the whole time with them, helping them with questions and we're planning on having volunteers, so get ready to mentor the students through each experience. And the facilitator will be there just to support everybody. So they'll welcome the group back into the forum. And at this point, I'm going to kind of dive into the next slide too. At this point, some of the feedback that we received from all the admin and the teachers and students and counselors from schools was that we need more time there. So a 90-minute experience is difficult for them to get the buses and the volunteers and make sure they pull out kids, and that it's, that the time lines up with their needs. So we're going to offer a post-curriculum lesson for students to continue on their path. And then the schools will get to choose if that's something that they need to do at the Dream Accelerator, or if they're going to do that back at school. And I know Robin shared the lunchroom. We're even going to offer time for them to eat lunch there, because with busing schedules, once again, students, lunchtime is really important. So,
Andrea? Sorry, I just wanted to jump in. We had a question in the chat about what grade specifically that we're targeting for that. So can you speak a little bit about the age group just quickly and why we decided on that?
Yes, we are focusing on sophomores and juniors in high school, but the space will also flex down to freshmen and then all the way up into beginning of college, so young adults. So we're really trying to use, and even adults, like Robin mentioned, we're trying to make this space engaging and fun and inspiring for everybody. But the focus is that sophomore and junior year to really help students with their, you'll see on there, it says ICAP, and that's the international, it's the Colorado Academic Plan. So it's an Independent Colorado Academic Plan. And that is something that every student needs to finish before high school. So we are really supporting students and schools in completing that requirement, and sophomore and junior years where that falls into place perfectly. Are there any other questions? I went way over time.
You're good.
Great. Well, thank you so much for your time. I'm going to introduce Jill, and she's going to talk about our programs.
Great. Thanks so much, Andrea. I am Jill Hernachek, so I know I've met some of you. Thanks so much for being here this morning. Andrea and Robin have been telling you a lot about the really exciting things that JA has in the future. But I want to talk to you for a minute about what we are doing this school year and all the exciting things we have happening right now. So the most exciting thing we have is a return to in-person programming. So we had a funky year last school year where we transitioned to virtual programming, and we got great feedback on that. But our students and our teachers are eager to get back in person because we know that's really where the JA magic happens. So with our experiential programs in particular, we have over 10,000 students registered for JA Finance Park up north in Thornton already this school year. And at JA Stock Market Challenge, we just had that event at the DU Cable Center a couple weeks ago. And over the course of 2 days, we had close to 1,000 students come to that experience. It had been 2 years since we had been able to host the JA Stock Market Challenge for students, and teachers and students were so excited to get back into the Cable Center. It's a very high energy environment, and it was really great to see something that resembled normal other than students, volunteers, and teachers in masks. It was a lot of fun. And speaking to the question about kind of missed field trips last school year, so JA Finance Park is designed both for middle and high school students. So we can host students from grade seventh grade all the way up to 12th grade. And we have ways to elevate the curriculum and the experience for our high school students. So if students missed it in last year, whether it was middle school or high school, they're still able to come back this year. And we've seen that across our programs as well. We have some schools, even with our classroom programs, who may have 2 grade levels participating in JA and the same program because they missed it last year. So we are playing a little bit of catch up across programs to make sure students aren't missing out because of last school year. And beyond our experiential programs, we are seeing a lot of demand for classroom programs as well. So we have over 10,000 students signed up for in-class programs, either elementary, middle, or high school across grade levels just this fall. So some of the challenges that we are facing this school year is our schools and our teachers are ready to get back in person, ready to get back to normal, and we're seeing a slower transition back from our volunteers, especially in group volunteerism. So some companies who used to host volunteer groups with JA may not be allowing in person, or it's just a little delayed. So we're hoping to see more momentum around that in the spring. But we know just at JA Finance Park from January through May, we still need over 400 volunteers to help us out. Up there, we have many J in a Day classes where we will need some volunteer help, and continued high demand, especially at middle and high school, for our traditional classroom programs. So students weren't able to have in-person mentors last school year, so we're really eager to get them some volunteers back this year. So that's just a very quick overview of what we're seeing as far as fall programming. I want to be sure we've covered a lot in this presentation, so I want to be sure to give a few minutes just for questions. So with that, if anybody has any questions, you can put them into the chat. You are also welcome, like Emily said, to unmute and ask a question. So thank you all for being here. And while we're waiting for questions, I will say, I know some of you have already volunteered this fall, and we really appreciate that. Thank you so much. We have had a lot of volunteers up at JA Finance Park and Stock Market Challenge. If you are looking for other opportunities to get involved, either at Finance Park or in the classroom, you can go to our website and find volunteer opportunities. You're also welcome to reach out directly to me or Emily, and we can make sure to get you to the right person so we can find something that may be a good fit for you.
Yeah, Rich, go ahead.
Not really a question, just a congratulations to Jay and the team. This is pretty awesome. I know Robin and I have been talking about this for a long time, so congrats on realizing the vision.
Thanks, Rich. We're really excited, and we really, I want to emphasize, we're creating this building for not just one purpose. It's an educational facility, but I think it'll be a great cultural center. And Rich, you and I have talked about even having summer programming for some of your Ameritown activities and camps. And I saw in the chat, can we use it for DECA? Yes. I'm just seeing this building being full of life and loud, and I hope not messy. I don't know. Rich, you can help me with that.
It will be messy. I tell you from
Yeah.
experience. Yes.
Yeah. The first time somebody drops their,
But congratulations.
sandwich. Thank you.
Okay, well, I'm not seeing any other questions, but just wanted to say how much we appreciate you all being on here, but more importantly, just for the support that you offer, volunteering and financially, and we could not do any of this without your support. So thanks for all you do to make JA possible. And I do just have to add a little plug because I'm sure you all know Community First Foundation's Colorado Gives Day is coming up on December 7th. And I know many of you make gifts around that time. So remember to schedule your gift or, make your donation on that day. If that's a time of year that you like to do that, we love that partnership. And we just are very appreciative for you taking the time to join us this morning. So we'll be hanging around here for a couple more minutes if you want to stay around and ask any questions, but otherwise you are free to get on with the rest of your morning. So thank you again.
Congratulations.